work at the Northeast Florida Educational Consortium.
We operate a help desk, we do trainings, develop user guides, develop reports, anything that our districts need.
First of all, let's understand that data is living in a whole lot of places, and there's a ton of it. There are constant data points that a student has that are being created every day. You've got homework and classwork and those types of things, but you also have formative type assessments.
And how do we get all that data together so when schools and districts look at the data, they can look at data across the whole student spectrum.
And there's various ways, some people like reports, visualizations, and analytics. By using EdFi, by having those data points from various systems living in one spot, you can now easily write, all these custom visualizations and reports.
And now with security, you've got to be really careful with the technology out there for people to hack in and get to data. Like used to, it was nothing to email, student data 20 years ago. Now, somebody can grab that information. So you've got to use something that's secure.
There's tons of documentation that EdFi's provided. There are lots of great tools. There's an issue tracker. Try it out. Test it out. Let's see if we like it. There's several key reasons that you would hope that a student information system would embrace standards. One of those being integration, right? So we have programmers that do all this integration work, importing data, exporting data.
The SIS, we want it to be the best SIS there is, the best finance payroll package. And then let us bring in the data from those other products that are the best in their area, bring all that data together, and then we can do our analytics and visualization based on all of that data, and it's the best products that we have for each of the different areas. We're not making less data, we're making more data. So it's going to get harder to manage more data. So you've got to come up with something to be able to manage that data efficiently, and districts aren't getting any more money to run a school district, to hire more people to do this data. So somehow you've got to do something.
Standards evolve. So when people start talking about standards and they're like, hey, well, isn't that going to change in 2 years? Why the effort? Well, yeah, it's going to change. It's going to get even better. So,
and if you're not keeping up, you're getting further behind.
You're just getting further behind. Data interoperability. So it's a huge word. So you have to kind of think about interoperability. What does that mean? What I believe that means is that integrations are so much faster. They're so much easier. The data standard uses an API for its technology, and the old way of doing things is CSV. And a lot of people are around now, right, that operate in SISs, that they were here when using a CSV and a secure folder, and an SFTP folder, was like this new technology and was a great way of doing things. But if we're looking in the future and where things are going, you can't just continue to do it that old way over and over and over again. At some point, you got to start thinking about what's the future hold. API has been one of those things, and the EdFi standard is right there with those APIs.